Asam Pedas ikan patin is a vibrant, complex cornerstone of Malay Riau cuisine. Historically, this dish was rarely served casually. It was a staple of royal government events, honored guests, and traditional kanduri feasts. Recreating it starts with three specific requirements: fresh Patin fish, a precise set of aromatics, and traditional souring agents. By selecting these specific components, the kitchen is now ready to follow the same sequence of preparation used in Riau for generations. The first step addresses a natural hurdle. Freshwater Patin fish often carries a distinct muddy smell. Soak the fresh fish fillets in warm water and lime juice for exactly 2 minutes, then rinse them thoroughly. If the fish bypasses this specific warm water soak, the muddy scent will remain and interfere with the final spice profile. Next, we assemble the foundational spice paste. Gather red chilies, garlic, shallots, ginger, and fresh turmeric. Blend these ingredients with a splash of water until they form a smooth, bright red-orange paste with no visible solids remaining. The traditional broth method begins by bringing 800 milliliters of water to a boil first, rather than frying the spice paste in oil. Add the blended paste directly into the boiling water, along with crushed lemongrass, bruised galangal, a tied turmeric leaf, and whole pieces of asam kandis. This specific oil-free boiling technique defines the structure of an authentic Malay fish stew, distinguishing it from standard modern curries. Gently lower the cleaned patin pieces into the bubbling broth, reduce the heat, and allow the pot to simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. This phase requires waiting for matang sempurna, the point where the broth has reduced enough to concentrate the flavors. While the stew simmers, we can look at another local dish, sempolet, to see how Riau's environment shapes its recipes. Sempolet relies on sago as its foundation, a native starch that provides high levels of calcium and energy. To complete the dish, cooks add wild local ferns, known as pakis, which are a primary source of beta-carotene. This chart shows how the ingredients in sempolet combine. The high carbohydrates and calcium of sago are balanced by the dense vitamins found in the pakis and kangkung. This integration of riverland sago and wild greens creates a nutritional profile specifically tailored to the dietary needs of Riau's river communities. Returning to the stove, the Asam Pedas is now reaching the final minutes of its required reduction time. Add a pinch of salt and an optional savory flavor enhancer, stirring slowly to keep the fish fillets whole. The water volume will drop significantly, and the broth should now appear as a rich, dark red liquid. The consistency is correct when the sauce is thick enough to coat the back of a spoon, rather than running off like water. At this stage, the Patin fish should be tender and flaky, while remaining entirely intact within the sauce. Following this reduction process ensures the broth achieves the heavy, velvet texture required for an authentic Malay stew. Turn off the heat and carefully transfer the fish and the concentrated broth into a wide serving bowl. The finished dish provides a sharp sensory balance, where the heat of the chilies is tempered by the acidity of the souring agents. Traditionally, this is served with warm white rice and a side of tumis belacan to complement the spicy and sour profile of the fish. This specific balance of reduced broth and tender patin reconstructs the exact flavor profile that has defined Riau's highest levels of hospitality for centuries.